Hey, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro. It looked like it's about to go rain outside a little bit. And sometimes I still like doing a lot of stuff in my house is because, this is where I created everything, the dead fingers, the upper body, middle body, using my skeleton, understanding things and whatever. But, I'm really, really down to just starting to get to the point where I can teach you how to use visualizations to understand. I know the movements. I'm just giving you the visualization of what to use to better your golf swing. But what I'm getting ready to show you now, it'll work in any kind of swing motion that you make. I've told you, I'm getting right to the meat and potatoes, and these things that if they consistently work, you can use your own visualization. These are my visualizations, because I said a long time ago, I said, I don't care if you take your finger like this and you think it's turning down the light bulb, turning down the light switch, or one is wiping down the wall. It doesn't matter. That's your feeling. But the action remains the same. And that's what my whole philosophy does. It teaches you the action. Now, I've got upper body, middle body, lower body, where I talk about the shoulder girdle being a separate entity from the body cavity, only connected in itself by the collarbones, which you can see that any skeleton you look at, you can see that. So then you got it resting against the middle body to where below the knees, the lower body basically stabilized and everything. We get our movement and all that stuff from my feet, My swing is not so much as conducive to the hips action as it is being able to swing the golf club. And we can lift arms up, bring them back down, and swing a golf club. I've got several videos on my YouTube that talks about that. And if you haven't seen my YouTube channel, like I said, I got a lot of good information on there. Look around throughout this channel, whatever, you'll find all kinds of useful information, so good stuff. But here, now I'm going to show you, because right now I still believe that if you build one arm, which is the trail arm, the one is behind the ball, if you build that arm, I just believe that the lead arm in itself will fall into play. I think sometimes that we teach the swing by teaching the lead arm, which is more conducive to hitting a backhand in tennis. And for most people, most of us in America who play sports, a backhand has always been the toughest part of our swing. We're more conducive to being able to hit more in a forehand motion. I'm just using that as an example in a sense. So let's go and let's build our dominant side to make this other side react to it. Now, one of the simplest ways, as I said before, that the scapula lifts and the scapula lowers, because the arm goes up in the air, the arm comes back down, and it goes back up. But I'm going to show you how to get a sensation, from that initial start where I said that the arm triggers the body, or the upper body triggers the middle body, that triggers the lower body, and that creates your sequence. That goes against whatever the kinetic sequence is. I'm just showing three parts of the body: upper, middle, and lower. Upper triggers the middle, that triggers the lower to keep us in a consistent action in a sense. And then we build resistance within that formula, that framework in a sense. But here's what I want you to do when you're thinking about your scapula, when you take your arm up in the air, instead of trying to take it to positions. Remember, muscles learn, positions don't. Any position you're trying to achieve in a golf swing, if it's not conducive to the natural movements of the body, consistently it's not going to work. So when you all stick stuff underneath your arm and trying to make swings and get it up, what you're doing is restricting the ability for the scapula to lift naturally as it should. So using my blinds here, I'm going to show you how to use the scapula properly, the trail scapula. Now, you all know that my golf swing is not from the ground up. In essence, like I say, I swing from the top down. But that doesn't mean that I can't use the certain areas of the scapula to create, the action that I want. So now, watch this. So when I'm raising the scapula in the back, in the backswing on the trail arm, the sensation I'm getting as if I'm grabbing these blinds and I'm pulling them up. That's the feeling. And then when I'm making a downswing with the scapula, the trail scapula, I feel like they're coming down. So the action of the movement of the natural, the most simplest movement that we can make in a swing that we have power over, is up and down. So the scapula goes up, and then all of a sudden it comes down. And you can go to the bottom of the scapula, you can go to the middle, you can go whatever you feel. But just remember this, the scapula goes up, that goes up to make your backswing with the trail arm, and then it comes down to make your downswing. And then you can create your actions, whatever's necessary for you to make your most productive swing. So give that a try. Remember, there's simple things around your house that will help you create the feelings that you want. You own the feelings. You own your rhythm. What I am doing is trying to give you the best anatomical actions, in a sense, that allows the body to continuously move in a consistent pattern over and over. And that's done with the skeletal makeup of the human body. As I said before, and I'll say it again, this may feel one way for you and may feel one way for the other, but at the end of the day, the action is still the action. This is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro, coming to you from my lovely house here in Orlando, Florida. And as they say, always good golf.